Hey everyone, so I'm back with another first impressions review, and it's on this foundation right here. This is the new Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation, and I am in the shade Medium Tan Sand. Let me just read what the packaging says. The Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation offers weightless coverage that lasts, while the Skintuitive formula delivers a flawless natural finish without setting or settling into fine lines and wrinkles. So they do recommend buffing this product in with their Airbrush foundation brush. I don't have that brush, but I do have the buffer brush, which I will use in this demo tutorial today. It comes in this little pot right here, and it has a seal inside, so it has this like little mesh sifter, and when I'm taking it off, the powder is already like going everywhere. So you have to be really careful when taking the little sticker off. The packaging did say that you don't need to shake the container for the powder to come out with this kind of mesh sifter. The bristles on the brush will just, you know, go through the sifter and just pick up the product. Ooh. Ooh, no. I picked up too much. Okay, so now I'm just tapping off the excess, which is a lot of excess. I don't know how... I don't think you can really control picking up the product. I guess you have to like do it really quickly and lightly, because right now I'm like tapping off a lot. That is a lot. So I do recommend for you to be really light-handed when you're trying to tap into the mesh sifter. And I feel like I was wasting product when I was tapping off the excess. Now we're just going to buff this into the right side of my face. So I just did the right side of my face, and I just applied one layer. As you can see on this side, I have hormonal acne going on my chin area. I was hoping that it would really cover like these spots right here, especially like I have an acne scar right here, and then I have discoloration right here from acne as well. I don't really see it being full coverage. I think with one layer and using a foundation brush like this, it's more of a light medium coverage. Now I'm just going to do another layer just to see how much it covers. From what I can see, it's covered the scars over here and my acne as well, but I can still see my acne scar right here peeping through, and the redness around my chin area is still showing up, but the redness around my nose is pretty much gone. So you really can see that the coverage is buildable, but I don't want to put another layer on just because I don't really need it at the moment. So I'm just going to finish the rest of my face and put 2 layers on the left side as well. So I just did the rest of my face right now, and from what I can see, it did cover the redness around my cheeks, but my acne scars and some of my blemishes, it still is seeping through the foundation, which is not good. Now, since the foundation does promise full coverage, we're going to try to achieve that, and I'm going to use my concealer brush from Sigma. This is the F75, and it's just going to give us a more concentrated application. I'm just going to dip this into my mesh filter. The mesh filter does bounce up and down, kind of like a trampoline. That's why they say you don't have to shake the container for the product to come out, because the mesh filter is pretty flexible, so that even though you do use a lot of it, you can still get to the bottom of the container. I'm not really liking the dome shape of the container. I wish it was a little bit deeper, because when I tap off the excess, the powder just goes inside and then it just like bounces outside, and I'm just wasting product that way. Alright, so now I'm going to attempt to cover up the rest of my blemishes. I did the best I could, and from what I see right now, I've covered pretty much most of the blemishes. I can still see the darkness on that scar right here, which is kind of unfortunate, but what can you do? And most of them look pretty good as far as coverage goes. Now I'm just going to finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Just going to recap from what I think about the foundation as of now. It feels very light. It's not cakey, it doesn't feel cakey, it doesn't look cakey on my face. To me, it's very reminiscent of the Bare Minerals foundation in terms of finish, because it's not a true matte. It looks more of a natural matte, so it doesn't look cakey when you put layer over layer over layer of this foundation, which is a good thing. I actually haven't used the Bare Minerals foundation since I was 19, so I don't know if they reformulated the foundation, so I can't really tell you off the top of my head how comparable they are. I don't know if you can see around my T area and then my cheeks. You can see that it's glowing a little bit. So I have oily combination skin, so I don't know how that'll work once my natural oils start to seep through the foundation. So I don't know if it'll look more natural throughout the day or if it'll just look like a greasy mess. And so far I'm really liking it. It looks very natural and it replicates skin-like properties to where it's glowing. It doesn't look like I have foundation on. So far, the only hiccup that I find really difficult for me is the packaging, just because the powder just gets everywhere. It doesn't have a controllable sifter, so when you try to tap away the excess, the shape of the container will just help the powder just fly out everywhere. And that's not what you want, because it's totally defeating the purpose. You want to save as much product as possible, and when you're tapping away the excess, it just flies everywhere. It is now 2:20 in the afternoon, so I will just run some errands and I will check back with you in a few hours. I'm back and it's been a few hours. It's 6:52 p.m. right now. So it's been about probably a little over 4 hours. Let's examine my face right now and see how the foundation is working. My skin looks healthy. It doesn't look like a greasy mess like it usually is with some foundations. I can see that it's a little bit dewy around my T-zone and then my cheek area. And I did use sunglasses today, and I don't know if you can see, but I can see in my mirror right now that some of the foundation has transferred onto the nose part of the sunglasses, and I can see like a mark right here. So you can tell that it is starting to separate, starting to settle into the crevices of my nose. But the rest of my face still looks pretty good. As far as coverage goes, I can see like my little blemish right here starting to peek through a little bit. You can see it a little bit, but some of the other ones, it's still pretty concealed, which is great. And overall, I'm really impressed with this. I just wish that it had a little bit of SPF, so if I wanted to touch up, I would touch up even the sunscreen. It's because it performs so well under heat. And even if I touched up during the day, then I would still also touch up the SPF and apply more to protect my face. I actually went to the mall today and a few people came up to me and told me that my skin was flawless and that my skin was healthy, and I'm like, I don't know about that because I'm breaking out underneath. But I told them that it was the foundation, and I told them that I was wearing the Tarte foundation or the new Airbrush foundation. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I feel like as the day goes on and my natural oils start to blend in with the foundation, that it looks a lot healthier as opposed to something that just cakes up and separates really to the point where it's just nasty. But anyways, I'll check back in with you at the end of the night. Hey everyone, so I'm back and it is already 10:30 at night. So it has been about 8 hours since I first applied it. Let's just go ahead and examine it for the last time. As you can see, the outside perimeter of my face looks fine because that area of my face is a little bit more normal. But I can see that some of my blemishes have started to peep through the foundation already. So you can see that the foundation has worn off a little bit after 8 hours. And then I don't know if you can see, but my T-zone area especially, the oils are very prominent now. And I can see there's a lot more separation going on around the nose, and that it's settling around the crevices of my nose already. And you can see that around the nose area, the foundation's pretty much gone. It's just oil to me now, which is normal for me for a foundation since I am very oily around my nose and my chin area. Around this time, this is probably a good time for me to start blotting and reapplying the foundation, but we're not going to do that because it's already like 10:30. So overall, I think the Tarte Airbrush foundation did pretty good. I'd say that for me, if I'm wearing it alone by itself without touching up, it lasted a good 5 to 6 hours without the need to blot or to reapply the foundation. But anywhere after that, you would have to reapply. So it's a good foundation to use for every day when you don't really need a lot and you're not really doing a lot of stuff, and you don't really need foundation that'll last you 12 or 16 hours even. And I love how the foundation made my skin look flawless and natural, and it kept my face matte throughout the 5 or 6 hours, like I said. So the coverage is buildable. It's not a full coverage foundation off the bat, but it does build to a full, but it doesn't look cakey and it doesn't feel cakey on the face, and it just pretty much melts into the skin, which I really like. I'll definitely keep using the foundation on days when I want to skip the whole liquid foundation routine. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!